Palm Springs Point of View viewers. And Conrad, what a week again, where season is rolling right along, right?
This is high season, which means there are a lot of things happening almost every day here in the desert.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we're going to talk about, we have a lot of things to talk about today. One, we have a featured guest who is none other than Alex Gildzen, an amazing poet. We're going to learn a lot more about his poetry and his Poet's Bench, which is on North Palm Canyon.
And he's going to read a poem? Is that correct?
He's going to read several poems from his book and also what's on the bench. And then we both saw I call it a uniquely feisty play called Bakersfield Mist at CV Rep.
Exactly.
And I know you're going to review it. Right. And I had a chance to after party with the two stars, husband and wife team. Also, the appreciation party for the Oswit Land Trust, which Jane Garrison organized, and we're going to talk more with her about how we all put ourselves together and saved Oswit Canyon, a beautiful, beautiful party over the weekend.
At a beautiful location.
At the William Holden Estate, yes, amazing. And you had a chance to, I don't know how, sit down and read how did you do it? A really funny, interesting book, Twilight Manners, which is, what is it, like hysterical romp through retirement?
Through retirement, that's a good way to put it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. And also over the weekend, we had the Alohana Festival, which came to the Cultural Center, celebrating all things tiki and hula dancers.
That's right. Lots of things to talk about.
And we're going to finish up with a little more about our martinis and moxie.
All right, Claudia, you met with one of our local artists, also a poet. He has a bench here in the desert. Tell us about that interview.
Oh, yes, Alex Gildzen. And many of you out there know him. He's sort of the bon vivant of Palm Springs. Yes, he's been a writer, an actor, a poet for many, many years. And we're going to go right to his poetry bench. It's called the Poet's Bench, uptown Palm Springs. He'll be reading both what's written on the bench and also excerpts from several of his poetry books, and also a lot of his documented life living in New York for so many years. Let's have a look.
And remember, this is shot outside, so we have a little bit of sun issues, but don't worry, we're going to get through it.
Well, what would this highly creative community that we know as Palm Springs be without its public arts program and beautiful art, architecture, and poetry abounds? And I'm here with the unofficial poet laureate of Palm Springs, Alex Gildzen. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Claudia.
Hey, it's great to be with you.
It's wonderful to be here.
And you've written many books, and a lot of your books are kind of written, even if they're not poetry, in a sort of poetic movement or sort of the documentation.
Yes. The biggie thing that I've been working on for years and years and years is really the story of my life. It's called Alex in Movie Land. Shall I read it just a little bit?
Yes,
so you get an idea.
To hear.
This is from April of 1973. Stays at New York City apartment of John Ashbery, where he witnesses Aladar Marburger hurl a book at the poet and shares hash brownies with them. Visits Jean-Claude Van Natali in his new apartment at West Beth. Observes Juna Barnes walking on West 10th. Lunches at Sardi's with Lois Wilson. Hears Ethel Chate belt Broadway Baby in a Stephen Sondheim musical with the Smiths, Alexis and Sheila. Dines at Casey's with Henry Van Dyke before visiting Avelde Night and meeting James Coco on Bleecker Street. Accompanies Ira Joel Haber and John Perrault to opening of Andy Warhol's show at the Whitney, where they spot Robert Rauschenberg in a leather jacket. Sees Jessica Tandy and Colleen Dewhurst in an Edward Albee play, visits Harvey Quaitman in his loft, sees Open Theater perform, and on and on and on and on. And it's 30 years so far. You can get it at Crisis Chronicles Press in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Buy it. It came out, I got my copies a week before lockdown. So the book, literally had no launch. And so there hasn't even been a review yet. But it's out there, and it's going to be out there, and I'll be working on it until I'm dead. And speaking of dead,
your new poetry book just came out.
The newest book, The Dead Keep Inviting Themselves for Dinner. This is called The Simple Things. Between deaths, we do the simple things that define a life. Slicing banana for cereal, cleaning lint from trap in dryer. Things no one lists in obituaries. We rarely remember the dead sewing on a button or raking leaves. Till years after a funeral, we receive a vision of the deceased applying wooden clothespins to affix a damp pillowcase to a rope line, and an entire life stretches out before us. Yeah.
So here we are on the bench that has...
The Poet's Bench. It's called the Poet's Bench.
Okay, the Poet's Bench.
Yes.
And the poem was written by none other than our unofficial poet laureate, Alex Gildzen, right here. And I understand it was a collaboration with the amazing artist Emmeline Tate.
She had asked me to do some poems for her letter series, and so those were at the Jansen Gallery, and they were so successful that when she was talking about getting into this project, she said, "Would you like to collaborate?" And I said, "Oh, I'd love to." So I wrote a site-specific poem for her, and then she did the design, and after it was approved, she did the actual painting. It's called the Poet's Bench, but it's very much a collaboration. It gives me so much excitement to know that I've got my words here on the most famous street in Palm Springs, right in front of Trina Turk. I'm wearing my Mr. Turk sunglasses. It's all so fantastic.
It is.
A good friend of mine, Robert Hansen in San Diego, he does these teeny little books.
Oh.
And he saw the photographs he'd done several of my poems, but he had seen the photographs online of the bench, and he made this little book without even, as a surprise. And and it's the pictures of the bench. And it's this wonderful little book called The Poet's Bench, and I'm so excited. So when I first got them, I actually had a box out here, and
I was going to say,
and this is called Poems for All, the series. So I wrote on the box Poems for All and put a whole bunch of the little books in there. So I don't know who has them, but hopefully a lot of people in Palm Springs have my poem. And if they don't, they can come here and put their behind on my poem. I don't mind.
On the corner of Palm Canyon and Tamarisk, Uptown Design District.
Yes.
Alex, this is fabulous, and whoa, how great.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Thank you so much
Thanks for
allowing
asking
us
me to talk about this.
Oh, you're
One
welcome.
of my favorite things to do.
Exactly.
On a bench in town, I watch the world dance by, which makes my smile spring above the palms.
Well, Claudia, you can tell that he is an experienced actor because the way he delivers his lines. I mean, you have to really feel that, and he definitely does.
Doesn't it just draw you in for just one line of poetry? You're just going, and just his style of writing, right?
And it's right here in the desert.
Yeah.
All right, Claudia, you and I both went to Bakersfield Mist, currently playing over at the CV Rep.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the play.
Yeah.
So it's a husband and wife team, which you got a chance to meet them, right?
Yes, it's Stephanie Erb and Arthur Hankett, and they are a husband and wife team, and it's based on a true story about a woman in a trailer park that's feisty and kind of goes crazy, right? Over a painting she gets at a rummage sale
for $5. That's right.
And she decides that this painting that she got for nothing is a Jackson Pollock.
That's right.
And you'll find out why, if you see the play,
That's
why
right.
she thinks this. And she is not stopping at nothing. She wants $50 million for this, and that's it.
And in reality, you'll learn more about this when you see the play. She actually was offered quite a bit of money for this, but she knew she wanted a certain dollar figure.
Well, there was an appraiser that actually came in and tried to assess the painting, and it's really brilliantly. Arthur is brilliant in his role as this, the way he looks at this painting, the way he studies it, the way he stands back, his facial expressions.
And the direction is pretty darn good, right?
I thought so.
It's pretty darn good. One of the things I really enjoy when I go to see a play over at CV Rep is their set design.
Oh, yeah. It was really unique. And just the angle of the trailer and how it was set
That's
up.
so true. When I sat there at my chair,
Tires in the front yard.
I thought, why is it to an angle? And then I thought, as I went through it, makes sense.
You can see everything.
Yeah, it really is.
And
the
it makes
detail.
the stage actually appear larger than it is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a CV Rep was once an IMAX theater, so there's not a bad seat anywhere.
And the seats are angled
banked.
up, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And personally, to me, I think the story was very entertaining. I think it went on a little bit long for me.
Did you?
Yeah, but still well worth it. And it plays November 12th through the 21st over at CV Rep.
Yeah. 75 minutes long, runtime.
Not bad. Okay, Claudia, you got to go to the William Holden Estate this weekend where there was a big event going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it was an appreciation party for the Oswit Land Trust. And the home is the home of Jane and Mark Garrison. And Jane Garrison, as many of us know,
right.
was instrumental in saving Oswit Canyon, the last alluvial fan canyon in South Palm Springs here. The Oswit Land Trust she's on a roll. This is not the only thing she's saving,
Right.
and we're coming along with her. This was for all the donors. It's now the Oswit Land Trust, and she has other things under her belt. There's other pieces of land that are going to also be saved in beautiful Palm Springs. But it was a fabulous evening because the property is so stunning.
It's beautiful there. Never been there, but I heard it's beautiful.
Oh, when it went from perfect time, late afternoon to early in the evening. So beautiful sunset, Chef Tanya's catering,
And there was some music,
music by the Gand Band.
which were one of our faves always.
Absolutely fabulous. And spinning by DJ Mod Girl, who also got up and sang.
Gotta get my luggage packed. Meet me by the railroad tracks. Jump, jive, dance, and swing. Everybody's jumping down in Palm Springs. If you have a buck or two, I'll tell you what you gotta do. Come watch the athletes swing. Everybody's jumping down in Palm Springs.
And then we were all dancing because there just happens to be a place on the lawn that's a perfect dance floor. We all had a great time. So, everyone that donated and, made contributions towards saving Oswit Canyon, this is only the beginning.
And get ready, there's going to be more
Yes.
abilities to donate for this
Absolutely.
different events. Right? Sounds good.
So Conrad, tell us about this book that you read that was sort of like an easy read, but funny, hysterical. And
An easy read means look how thin it is, right? That's a good book to me.
let's see the
So it's called Twilight Manors in Palm Springs, God's Waiting Room. And let me just start off right away. God's Waiting Room, don't worry, this is not really a lot of religious stuff. Although I do have to say, there is a murder that takes place, a nun passes away. And in the church, there's a secret society of Carol Channing fans who dress up like her. There is also an S&M Thai food restaurant that they go to. There are a couple of lesbians who have an infatuation with owls. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that happens here.
Pass that over. I'm going to thumb through this thing tonight.
And the beauty of the book, well, first of all, it's by the author is Saint Suki Delacroix. He is actually born in England, moved into Chicago, became very well known as an artist and a documentarian about LGBTQ type of issues. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in Chicago. He moved to the desert, and now he's written this cute little book about retirement.
I noticed it said, where did you get this book? Or how does one get this book? It says not for resale.
That's because I
that
know
a logo?
I know people. Right?
What if one of our viewers wants to read
So
it?
it is for sale on Amazon.
Okay.
And I want to tell you, it's a quick, easy read. And within the first chapter, you want to know more. And that's a good book in my book.
Oh, sounds fun.
All right. Claudia, I hear that there was a tiki event that went on this weekend and you were there. Tell us all about
That's it. The Alohana Festival, which happens once a year at the Cultural Center, is everything tiki. Plus, I learned how to hula.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I can go there with you, I
It
think.
was fun. So it's kind of like a small vintage market that focuses on all things tiki and vintage of a Hawaiian aloha kind of feel. Loads of fun. Again, DJ Mod Girl was spinning.
Of course.
With a new look on. We had some other music. We had Kathleen Struckoff, who was painting. She was painting the tiki. She paints what she sees at any kind of festival.
I just worked with her at Palm Springs Pride.
Yes,
So she was there.
absolutely. But what I like about this festival, it's very chill. It kind of runs all day, but you can just sort of meander through, watch the hula dancers, have a zombie.
And I think
Chill.
this is one thing that maybe folks in the desert don't know about, or people who come to the desert don't know. There's a lot of tiki-oriented architecture here.
There is.
And so if you look around, you will realize, oh yeah, I didn't realize that there was that much here.
Royal Hawaiian Estates being one just
One of them,
down the
exactly.
street here. So
Exactly.
it's just loads of fun. You see a lot of friends, and it's very relaxing.
Always something in the
Yeah.
desert.
Well, it's Martinis and Moxie Week live at the Cultural Center
Yes.
Friday night, and we're kicking it off with our appearance tomorrow on Eye on the Desert, KESQ with Patrick Evans.
That's right.
All three of us will be there, 12:45 tomorrow, Tuesday. So tune in for that. This will be our lead in, and we'll be talking about martinis and Moxie. Yes, there is a Moxie.
There is a Moxie
Cola.
soda, believe it or not. And we're going to tell you this coming Friday some of the history behind the Moxie soda.
Who would drink a cola with a guy like this on it?
Root beer with a bitter aftertaste. I don't know. I don't know.
But we've added something new to our
That's
show
right.
on Friday night. What's
That's
that,
right.
Conrad?
We have added dancers. We're going to do a dance production because it's going to go with the theme of the evening for this coming Friday.
Yeah, for the
Should be-
screening, which is you'll find out when you come.
And maybe you'll find out about, let's just put out the word cheesecake. What does that mean?
Okay.
We'll see you on Friday to
She's
find
a
out
real
about it.
cheesecake, isn't she?
She's a doll. She's a real doll.
Okay, Friday night, November 19th at the Cultural Center, 6 p.m. Get your tickets on Eventbrite.
Martinis and Moxie.
The Biltmore Hotel wants a grand.
But we ain't got a grand on hand.
But wait, you don't need a grant to attend the next Martinis and Moxie event on November 19th.
All you need is a love of Frank Sinatra, because we're going to be singing and playing his tunes, screening one of his movies, talking to his friends, and sipping on Frank's favorite cocktails.
And don't forget, we're going to be gambling.
So you're gonna need a little bit of luck. Luck be a lady tonight.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with.
Luck be a lady tonight.